So today we're doing like a sort of irregular recording. Not that we really have any regular recordings yet. It's usually us either just chatting about something or doing like an art challenge. But we actually wanted to share, well, I wanted to share a product that I've been an ambassador for. And so we're going to have like a shorter version of our sort of weekly podcast, and hopefully this will be something that's fun for you, and hopefully for people, especially who are artists, creators in the space who struggle like we do with sharing their work online, because there's just so many different things you need to do and marketing yourself is just so hard. So maybe this is one way for you to try out and test to see if it's for you. So the product is called Firefly. It is essentially a Web3, but also Web2 based product where it's a social app. So essentially, it's not like any of your usual social apps. So, in the sense of maybe Twitter X, or what else does everyone use? I guess like Facebook, Instagram, they all have their own personal feeds. So essentially, you need to create your own account, right? And then you create from scratch a brand new a following, an account. You start posting things, and you start building up essentially your portfolio, or sort of like who you are from scratch on each of those separate platforms. And as we all know, as creators, that's probably the hardest part of sort of like sharing yourself, putting yourself out there, um, and sort of like growing your audience and growing your sort of trusted community. But what Firefly does differently is it's not a unique or like a new version of a social media app, but it actually helps connect multiple different social media apps that you already own. So whether that be your X Twitter account, your Blue Sky, and also Web3 ones like Lens and also Farcaster, can all be linked under one Firefly account. What happens here is if you were to post one post through the Firefly app, it will actually get automatically distributed to all the apps that I just mentioned. So you do one post, so whether it be like a behind the scenes video of something you're creating, or even like the final product where you go, hey, this is online, you can buy this now, that post gets distributed to every single app that you have linked to your Firefly. So what I think is very exciting about that is it's helping you save time, obviously, because otherwise you'll need to go and post on every single one of those platforms, make sure the post is optimized for every single one of those platforms as well, which is a lot of thought that needs to go through it, a lot of sort of back and forth, and also understanding the platform as well. But when it's all done on one platform and in the Firefly app, it means it's literally a click of a button. And hopefully, this gives you a sort of background ramble of what Firefly is and why I use it, and why hopefully everyone watching can use it as well. So, what I was thinking was, well, first of all, Celine, do you have any questions to start off with?
One question I have is if there is a way to customize maybe the text while posting on those platforms. Like, let's say there's a different text on X and Lens.
I love that. That's a really good question. So, what you can actually do with Firefly is, as I mentioned earlier, you can do one post and it distributes it to everywhere. But what you can do is before you hit post, you can choose which platforms that post that you created gets uploaded to. So, for example, if I wanted to upload a video, say like a clip from this exact podcast, only to X, I can instruct it to just be posted to X. So I don't need to go all the way into my Twitter account to post from there. I can do it directly from my Firefly account, but then I can customize the text to be X friendly, for example, upload the video and then post it. Then I can repeat it, but do it for like a Lens version, for example, or a Farcaster version, or like a Web3 version, and just post it both to Firefly, to Farcaster and Lens, for example,
Mm.
and tag people respectively as well. So that's hopefully that answers your question.
No, I love that. It's honestly so tiring to post the same things in so many socials. So yeah, I'm excited to minimize the social fatigue.
No, 100%. Like what, just going slightly off topic here, but what are the pain points do you reckon for sort of like yourself, but also like artists in general on posting and being on social and being active on social? What do you think the most tiring thing or like the hard part is about that? I'd love to know.
I think the part of consistency for me, I think for some people, and also especially what exactly consistency is, because for different people it's a different thing. And I think as an artist it's hard both to produce content around our art, which isn't, yeah, we can put a deadline, but it doesn't always come out the day that we want to. But also, I don't know, personally, I have some days where I think of so many things to say, and I may do like 20 tweets or posts, and other days I'm like, I'm so exhausted. But I think that definitely accounts due to the having to do that to multiple socials at the time. So I think, yeah, the fatigue with like trying to follow the, not the trends, but what is happening right now. I think also, I'm not sure because I haven't seen that, but if you can explore in the feed all these different kinds of socials, then it's easier to also keep up. And like, I think the friction is the main pain, like the pain point, the friction around having to be always updated around everything. And yeah, the rest of the points I said.
No, yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, definitely. It's hard, right? With like all the different social apps that we need to be on, as you mentioned as well, and just like keeping up alone is so hard,
Mm,
let alone having to do your own posts and be relevant and keep up with everything. It's just so many different components to it. What
mm,
I actually do enjoy about the Firefly app is you can sort of semi customize your feed as well. So you can choose which platforms you can like sort of follow, and your notification feed is all in one as well, meaning
mm,
all the notifications that you have set on Twitter, so X, for example, I have notifications on for a few accounts. So then when
mm,
they tweet, then I get a notification. Even those come in to Firefly. So you can get all these sort of like customized notifications from each of the apps, but they all get added into that one feed.
mm,
So it's sort of, hopefully it can be a little overwhelming at the start to sort of get used to it. But
mm,
once you get over that initial hurdle, I think it's a lot more easier to sort of navigate, because it's just that one app. All you have to do is open that one app, sort of scroll through for the last,
mm,
3, 4 hours, and then you're done with your like social media personal management of the day,
mm.
rather than
Yeah.
falling into this trap of doom scrolling, which I think a lot of us do in the
Yeah.
end. Like we feel obliged to do as well. So
Mm.
yeah,
I
thank
think you
you.
also made me think of another point with what you said,
Mm,
that
tell me,
we
tell me.
we have some friends or general people we want to be up to date with that are not on all those socials, and one of them is only on one. So I think in this way it's easier to also like catch up with all the
Yep.
people that you want to keep up to date. So I think that's a big one.
Definitely, definitely. No, yeah, 100%. And to add to that as well, something you can do uniquely because it's connected to Web3, what you can do is also opt in to follow your friends and people you follow, what they're doing on chain as well. So, what sort of coins they're buying, and you can actually, within the app, you can just copy what they've done. So,
Mm,
the trades that they've made at a click of a button, you can just copy what they do. And if that's sort of something you're interested in, something you want to do, that becomes a lot more easier and a lot more sort of social as well, in the sense of you can do it with your friends and sort of interact with what your friends are doing rather than it just being, this solo thing, which is what crypto essentially is in the end. Like we like to think we're, this huge happy family
Yeah.
community of people, but in the end, it's still up to you at this point. But a lot of these sort of social Web3 apps have started experimenting with things like tipping and again with this sort of following of what you do on chain. So I think that's also another sort of unique perspective, which I don't know, we'll see how that sort of links back to art and what artists do. I think that's still something that needs to be solved. We still don't quite know what it means and how it will eventually span out to be an artist on chain. We're still very much in the figuring out process, but I think all of this really leads into that. So appreciate it.
Yeah, we need some time until artists become prioritized by platforms. But some platforms make efforts, or there will be future efforts, so that's still exciting.
100%. With that said, why don't we jump in and we can sort of have a
Yes.
quick look. I'll show you around, and then if you or if anyone watching has any questions, we can sort of pick up the conversation from there. We want to keep this short-ish and simple,
Yeah, I am
right?
connected to all three accounts.
Awesome, awesome. So thank you for sharing your screen. So this is what the sort of home screen of Firefly looks like. Selene has already logged in on her Farcaster, Lens, and X. As you can see in the bottom left corner, there are like little icons of the logos of what you're logged in on. So depending on which ones you've linked, that will be different. You might also see like the blue butterfly of the blue sky logo, or you might not see all of the ones that Selene has.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yes. So you can actually log in using Web2 socials as well now, so like Google and stuff. But I think for the case for most of the people watching, you'll have some sort of Web3 wallet. Just makes sense more for you to log in using that. So essentially, the sort of UI kind of looks similar to most sort of feed-based socials, I think. So as you can see now, if you scroll down, all the sort of socials that you're connected to, they're all sort of coming in here. So in this middle section, up the top right, there's like a filter icon.
Mm.
Can you
Yeah.
click on that
Oh,
for me?
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so from here you can sort of opt in and out of which feed you're looking at. And so it just makes it a lot more easier to sort of like follow. And mainly you can see, I believe you can actually see everyone you're following. So when people comment, if you follow them, you'll be able to see their feed as well. So that's kind of like a unique thing about Firefly, I think, especially for Lens and stuff. That's not something they offer on a lot of the Lens platforms. And I guess the main sort of thing would be to go post. So if we were to post, if you go to the white post button, this is essentially where you can create your post. You can upload photos, videos, etc. And yeah, so if you go share, you can actually customize which platform you want that post to be posted to, which is super exciting, I think. So as we mentioned earlier, if you just want it to be on X, if you just want it to be on your Web3 socials, you can choose. And yep, so that home button that you just clicked on right now, that the first one, this one is for Farcaster. So any clubs, or I think they're called clubs. No, they're not. They're called channels. So Farcaster channels, as long as you're part of that Farcaster channel, you can post directly into that Farcaster channel. And yet the one on the end are clubs. So they're on a platform called Orb. So if you're a part of those clubs on Orb, if you post using Firefly into those clubs, they'll be viewable in those sort of communities, I guess, is the closest thing to call them. So essentially what you can do here is you can go at and tag people, and they will, especially if they already have a Firefly account, they will be tagged automatically on all the socials. So for example, if you were to tag me, and then do a post to all the socials, I will automatically get tagged on Firefly, not on Firefly, on Farcaster, Lens, and
Mm.
X. So it just makes life a lot more easier. And even if you have people who are only on, say, one social, they don't have it all connected on Firefly yet, you can still tag people. So if you were to
Mm.
create, say, a post just for X, you can tag people who have an X account, for example. So it's quite fluid and quite exciting. So this is like the main feature that I wanted to introduce today, that is probably the most exciting for artists and creators like ourselves.
Mm.
There are a lot more other features. Like, for example, you can do something called a lucky drop. This needs to be on like a Web3 platform. So it needs to be on either Farcaster, and I think they're about to implement it back into Lens because they just did like a huge upgrade. But essentially, what you can do is you can give away tokens or coins that you own. And you can give people sort of tasks to do. So, for example, you could ask them to follow you in order to be a part of the lucky drop, or you can ask them to comment, or you can ask them to, either even hold a specific NFT in order to get the lucky drop. So essentially, it's like a tool for you to use to like grow your following. And that's another way that I think artists can start using it. Maybe we can do like a shorter video of maybe walking you through, Celine, of what that lucky drop is and how you can use it, especially as an artist, because there's a lot of potential there as well, I think. But again, it's the social side, it's the
Is this
posting.
one, right?
Yes, exactly,
The
exactly.
gift
So
button. Okay.
the gift button, yeah, and you can choose how much you want to give away and who you want to give it to, and also you can choose the sort of split, so whether it's random or it's very equal,
Mm.
and also, yeah, the coin that you want to give away as well. And so it's essentially like a new way of tipping people. It's like an opposite to tipping, essentially, I guess you could call it. And yeah, there's a lot of tokens that are available. And I think they just upgraded it so you can actually do it on Solana as well. This week, like today, they've just upgraded it to that. So there's heaps you can do here. And but yeah, I think the social side, the actual posting side, is the most exciting, especially right now for artists and creators. So to wrap things up, if you have any questions, definitely let me know. I am here. We do a lot of content on how to use Firefly and how I personally use it as a creator as well. And if you have any questions, just drop them on the comments and I'll be happy to walk you through anything you know. And thank you for Celine for helping me share this journey and share what Firefly is all about. And thank you everyone for watching.
Thank you so much for showing me how to navigate this. I'm definitely going to use it from now on and minimize the friction.
Thank you.